Well, that reminds me of this story of nothing sacred. Remember, when we were living in Buffalo, this wonderful old lady, Mrs. Foreman, who became my friend and advisor, and she studied in a Zen monastery and stood on her head every day at 80. She complained that this Reverend Pardue, who was a preacher, and he came to Buffalo occasionally, and she had to be very careful about what she told him, because it would turn up the following Sunday in his sermon. And when I relayed this to my wife Priscilla, who always had a knack of putting things, Priscilla said, "I see, for him nothing was sacred." Well, there are some things one regards as sacred, and this is why I'm asking you not to use this. But when I went to MBM, she taught us we had to learn how to write prayers. And it's very good practice. It peels off parts of yourself. You finally get down to what you really want. Well, in any case, it resulted in my dreaming a prayer. And the prayer was that I would know the knowledge of the universe. And two nights later, I had this dream that led to the geometry of the meaning, although I didn't write it until 7 years later, but it sort of encompassed the whole thing in an image. And then 4 nights later, I had the one that led to the reflexive universe. Now, this poses a very profound question. Of course, stuff does come down. That's where all creativity comes from. It comes from, we say up, but that's a metaphor too. From this integration, it comes down into this disintegrated world. And it may come down through prayer, but it also comes down through concentration and moments of insight and what have you. Now, the interesting thing to me is that this realm from which things descend is outside of time. So it isn't so remarkable that it should be precognitive. It's only my illusion that time is flowing along. I got the first piece 7 years before I wrote the book. But up there, it's all together.